A very good afternoon, students, to yet another lecture for second year BCom semester 3 for the subject management. I warmly welcome one and all. Now, you have been attending the lectures quite a while now, and you already know that we have started and discussed about the second unit of management that talks on the recent techniques in human resource management. Out of the contents, you very well know that we have completed with the first technique, that is employees for lease. We also discussed about moonlighting by employees along with its types, that is to say from blue moon to full moon. In the previous lecture, we also discussed dual career groups, and I made you understand the concept of flexi time. So today the focus shall be to understand again a new technique, a new concept on flexi work, and thereafter I would just be giving you a glimpse on the concept of quality management. So before that, you can just have a quick glimpse at all whatever is covered up till now. We have covered with the employee leasing. We understood the meaning of the same, the concept, which are the parties involved, to whom is it beneficial. We have understood another technique of moonlighting by employees, the meaning of moonlighting. We have understood for what reasons employees moonlight, that is to take another job. We have understood all the types of moonlighting in detail. That was the blue moonlighting, the quarter moonlighting, half moonlighting, and lastly the full moon lighting. I hope that you are clear with both the concepts. We have also studied about different arguments in favor and against moonlighting. We have already discussed everything in detail and even revised in the previous lecture, so I would be going a bit quick. In the previous lecture, we did two new topics. That was the dual career groups, and we studied about the meaning of flexi time. So I would just give you a quick revision for the same, and then we begin with the new topics. So the first concept you studied in the previous lecture was about the dual career groups. When I say dual career group, I hope you remember that we had discussed how in a married couple, both husband and wife are professionals. Both are performing some or the other job. So both are occupied in some or the other work. And such a kind of group is known as a dual career group. So how the impact of women in employment has increased, or what were the factors that showed a tremendous increase in female employment, we had discussed that, and how is it creating challenges for a human resource manager, we also discussed the same. So as you can see, both partners need to be working professionals, then it becomes a dual career group. We had discussed how to attain psychological, financial satisfaction, getting that freedom, economic freedom. Women are starting working a lot and they are highly committed for the same. We studied different factors that has increased in the number of female employees. So I hope that you remember all those factors. After that, we had discussed about again a short and a simple topic on flexi time. Now, I hope you remember flexi time was nothing but flexibility given in the working hours to all the employees in the organization. The employees can be given a choice, a flexibility to select the working hours during which they want to work. So when such a condition is given to them, it becomes a flexi time. But I hope you remember that there was a core time period given by the organization where everybody had to remain present. But for the rest part of the day, of the working hours, it could be flexibly decided by the workers themselves. So if you remember, it was an opportunity of flexible working hours arrangement. That is to say, employees as his own convenience and interest may select the working hours, a flexible entry and leaving time for all the employees. Of course, it will be mentioned in the job description as well as to how many hours a day he has to work, for how many days a week he has to work. It will allow the employees to select their working hours on their own. But as I said, there would be a particular core time period for which all the employees have to be present at work, while the rest of the work hours can be adjusted as per the employee's convenience. We discussed number of advantages, because when such a flexibility is given to the workers, productivity will increase. They can also take care of their personal work, domestic work. They would not remain absent, so they wouldn't be leaving the company also, thereby reduction in the labor turnover rate, increase in their morale, and they become work conscious rather than time conscious. But there were few problems as well. There was a difficulty in timekeeping. Calculation of overtime was quite difficult. There is a problem of supervising every worker because they are working conveniently at their own working hours. Lastly, because everybody is working at different working hours, communication among them would be a difficult thing. So this was all what we have discussed up till now in all these lectures. So I hope that you are clear with all the four concepts studied up till now. Still, if you have doubts, post them in the Google Classroom. Now, let us begin with the new topics for the day. So after having studied flexi time, today we are going to study the next concept on flexi work. Now, when I say under flexi time, there was flexibility given in terms of the working hours or the time for which the worker has to work. Under flexi work, flexibility is given for the work that he shall be performing in the organization. Flexibility in the sense that he can switch over between different jobs in the same organization. For example, an employee may have been appointed to work in production department, but later on, as per his skills, he can also be shifted to some another department and maybe doing some another job. So when such kind of flexibility is given to change the jobs from one to another within the same organization, it becomes flexi work. So when this kind of opportunity is given to the employees, the concept is nothing but flexi work. You can have a look at the meaning first, then we understand its concept better. It is a program that allows flexibility in handling the type of work in various departments of the organization in a systematic way by the employee during his tenure of employment in an organization. Tenure of employment meaning to say, for whatever time period he is working in the organization, he would be allowed to switch over to different departments, but of course in a systematic way. For example, he may be selected as a clerk in the personnel department, and after 2 years, he may be allowed to take up work in any other department of the organization. After some time, he may be allowed to improve his qualifications depending upon his interest, and will also be given the freedom to change from one job to another in the fixed intervals. So definitely there would be a fixed time period, but based on which he would be given a freedom to change from one job to another. So when such a flexibility is given to the worker, his skills and qualifications are definitely going to be enhanced. The latent abilities and talents can also be brought out. So I hope that you are clear with the meaning of flexi work. The employees themselves will get prepared to take up the responsibility to higher level jobs and perform those jobs effectively, thereby will also receive nominal benefits or increase in salary. So when they are given chances to work in different jobs, they also get responsible and they can lead the higher level jobs. They perform it with more effectiveness, And when they are getting some higher level positions and responsibilities, definitely they are going to even get higher benefits and increase in salary. So they would be completely satisfied and increasing the productivity. It would help the employees to satisfy his need for freedom, unchallenging and interesting work. At the same time, it also helps the organization in its effective functioning because there would be minimized frustrations and enriching its human resources. So, on one hand, the employees are satisfied because they are satisfied with the need of freedom. They are getting some challenging and interesting work. While on the other hand, organization is also helped because their productivity would increase, employees being enriched and satisfied, their profitability tends to go high. So after having studied with what do you mean by flexi work, now we shall understand as to what are the possible reasons why would flexi work be undertaken or why such freedom should be given to the workers to switch between jobs. So the first is a very good point that talks on over specialization in the work. Now we all have studied that when there is a division of labor and when the work is given to the right person at the right time, it will definitely enhance his specialization in the work. He will become an expert and will attain the expertise knowledge to do that work. For example, a person is in the production department since years, now he is specialized to work there. But then, when continuously the same portion of the total work is performed by the employee again and again, the same thing is doing during the entire tenure of his employment, it is definitely going to give him over specialization that is not required. Instead, his other skills and talents could be made use of, could be enhanced, but because he is just doing that small portion of work every now and then, grants him unnecessary over specialization in the work. The next is lack of challenging work. Now, many organizations are not providing challenging work to the employees, and consequently, the skills and the knowledge of the employees are not able to be enriched. They are given just the same task that may be challenging but may not be challenging as well. It could be a very small part of work that they are doing, maybe filled with boredom or has become repetitive and monotonous. So now the employee is not working with the same zeal and enthusiasm. He wants something challenging and something interesting to be performed. So, because of this reason as well, flexi work has to be undertaken. The third reason could be lack of interest because most of the employees if feel that they are not getting the job of their choice, their interest, their career orientation, they would be quite disinterested in performing that job and finally they get frustrated. Lastly, the routine nature of work, that is to say, the jobs becoming quite routine, quite repetitive. Employees have to do the same thing again and again and naturally would result into frustration. So, because they want a break from the routine task, they want something interesting and challenging to perform, they want to enhance their skills and capabilities, flexi work comes into existence. So, I hope that by now you are clear with the meaning of flexi work, also the reasons as to why flexi work should be adopted. Having done this, let us discuss the pros and cons of flexi work, that is to say, the advantages of flexi work. You yourself by now can suggest few advantages already. That when such a flexibility is given to the employee to work in different jobs in the organization, gets the opportunity to perform some challenging and interesting tasks, and gets free from the same monotonous job that he has been performing, there are a number of merits out of this situation. His skills gets enhanced, he would be performing the job with much more zeal and enthusiasm. The productivity would increase. Such employees, when satisfied, tend to remain less absent and would try to retain in the organization itself. So the labor turnover rate also goes down. Ultimately, not only beneficial to the individual employee, but to the organization at large. So number one is reduced absence among staff. As I said, when they are satisfied, when they are given the flexibility, the choice of working in different jobs, they would tend to remain less absent. They can perform the job as well, and they can also take care of their domestic work. So let us read. For employers, absence at work can leave them in a mess, especially if they have short staff. So for employers, it is a matter of concern when employees tend to remain absent. And it is not always because of illness, but people may be having their own personal and some important events to be undertaken for which they tend to remain absent. But when flexible working would be given to them, they would help with the job also, and they would be able to perform their personal task as well. So it would reduce the absenteeism among staff. As I said, it could also improve the retention because employees are satisfied, they are working with full zeal and enthusiasm, they would not leave the organization soon. So when employees are satisfied at work, it reduces the risk of them leaving an organization. With good communication and adaptability from employers, that is to say, when employers are quite flexible in their approach, the staff feels valued and appreciated when you are willing to help making working life more convenient for them if needed. So their working life becomes more convenient and they are satisfied. That is why they stay retained in the organization. Next could be extended working hours. So, with the flexibility given to work at whatever time employees want for whatever task they want, sometimes employers can also stretch on the working hours. That would be very beneficial for the organization because it impacts the profitability. More work can be produced. So some organizations can also extend their hours of operation for certain departments, extremely beneficial for employers as allows customer satisfaction by keeping the business open more longer. So these were few of the advantages pertaining to flexi work and flexi time. Of course, there could be many more, such as increasing employees' productivity. It could be meeting with the customer's needs. It could be increased employee engagement, employee retention, flexible working styles. So, of course, you can say to some extent both flexi work and flexi time are advantageous to the employee and to the organization as a whole. But definitely it suffers from few disadvantages, few limitations. So let us understand even them. Number one would be complicated handover. Now, sometimes it may happen that due to flexi time or due to flexi work, the working hours of employees are different. It may happen that some clients expect reliable and consistent service only during the business hours and only from so and so person without any complication. But because there is a change in the staff, it can make the dealings and the handovers a bit complicated because they may miss out some information or they are unaware of how to deal with certain clients. So such kind of flexibility would affect the relations with the clients as well. And difficult to manage, definitely, because it can be extremely difficult with an organization to manage. It requires to be organized and firm about how the flexible hours work at your company. So there should be regular staff meetings to keep your workforce informed and maintain a team working environment so everyone feels involved. So of course the limitations can be removed, but when there is effective communication among the entire organization. So this was about flexi work. We have understood one more concept where we have understood the meaning of flexi work. We have understood the reasons behind having a flexi work and what could be its advantages and limitations. So students, now having studied so many concepts and so many techniques pertaining to human resource management, such as employee leasing, moonlighting, could be the dual career groups, the flexi time, the flexi work. Now, for few lectures, the focus shall be entirely on one part that you see. Probably by the end of the unit, we are now going to discuss only this topic, that is TQM, stands for Total Quality Management. So you need to understand the complete concept of TQM, the history behind TQM, what are its importance, functions, what is the relationship between TQM and continuous process improvement. Every sort of aspect pertaining to TQM shall be studied from now onwards in the chapter. For today, the focus shall be only to explain you the basic concept of total quality management. Definitely, we are going to understand it better in the lectures to come. But what does TQM stand for? Let us understand today. Now, as you can by now know that the full form of TQM is Total Quality Management. If you are familiar with these words, you already know that it is basically to make the entire organization conscious about the quality of the products and the services it provides to the customers. We all know that customer is the king of the market. When the customers are given a good quality product at reasonable price, they are definitely going to stay faithful towards the organization. They would stick to the company and they would be loyal towards that brand. So, as an organization, one has to be quite conscious about the quality of whatever goods are produced or whatever services are rendered. But that would be only quality. Here we also include the word total and management. So basically, it means to say that not only the production department or not only the marketing department, but every person who is involved in the organization has to be responsible for maintaining the quality. There has to be no defect, no error on anyone's part whatsoever. Every person performing any task in the organization has to be quality conscious. So before we understand the concept of total quality management, you need to understand the concept is made up of three parts. That is to say, total, quality, and management. So we would first be understanding the meaning of each of the parts of TQM. So let me first give you an idea about what do we mean by total. As I said, by total we mean that we have to be conscious about the quality of each and everything in the organization and by each and every person who is involved in the organization. So everyone in the organization is involved in creating and maintaining the quality of the services and the products offered by the organization. Next is quality. So definitely the quality has to be ultimate, has to be superior. So the organization through individual and collective actions focuses on meeting the customer's needs at the lowest cost, first time and every time, as it is the customer's perception that identifies quality. It is not only once, but it is for every time that you need to satisfy the customer's needs by giving them the best quality product. And lastly, management, that is to say, the quality in totality has to be managed by everybody involved in the organization. So while managing the system, the emphasis should be towards continuous improvement and not on quick fixes. This is, of course, a Japanese concept that we are studying. It is a management oriented philosophy, and there are a number of Japanese techniques such as Kaizen that focuses on continuous process improvement. What it is, we shall be discussing in the lectures to come also, but you need to understand a basic crux that we are focusing on improvement of quality in the long run. We are not just feeling to improve quality only for one time. It is not a one time show. It is not a quick fix, but it is to work towards quality improvement on a continuous basis, to take every step every single day. So it requires everyone in the organization to be responsible for managing their own job. If every person who is working in the organization is conscious towards what he or she is doing, and if they try to do that part of work without any defect, without any error, ultimately the final product will be a defect free and of supreme quality. So I hope that you have understood the entire concept of TQM, which covers three aspects as you see: total, quality, and management. So having studied this much, now you can have a summarized picture of the definition of TQM. So I have put two definitions for you. According to the International Organization Standards, TQM means a management approach. So we already saw that it is a management philosophy of an organization centered on quality. The focus is on quality based on the participation of all its members, because we want in terms of totality, everybody involved, aiming at long term success, because as I said, it is not a one time show, through customer satisfaction and benefits to all the members of the organization and society. So, customers to be satisfied and everybody in the organization to receive the benefits. It is a continuous effort by the management as well as the employees of a particular organization to ensure long term customer loyalty and customer satisfaction. Because as I said, customers need to be kept satisfied. When customer is satisfied, when he feels that the product is of good quality and his needs are satisfied, one customer can influence many other customers too, who would become loyal towards your product. But in case the customer himself is not satisfied, he could also influence adversely to the other people as well. So customer is the king of the market, and to keep him satisfied, the product has to be of a supreme quality. So I think this would be enough for today. We have understood the basic concept of TQM. In the lectures to come, we are going to focus on the history behind TQM, what are its functions, what is the importance. You can have a quick look at whatever we have studied today. We have understood the concept of TQM that shows three things, namely total, quality, and management. We understood a concept prior to that also, that was on flexi work. We understood the concept, the reasons behind flexi work, the advantages and the limitations. I hope you are able to differentiate between flexi time and flexi work. Both are different concepts, but imparting flexibility on part of employees. So with this, I wind up for today's lecture. I hope that you are clear with whatever we discussed. If any doubts, any queries, feel free to post them in the Google Classroom and I shall be answering them at the earliest. See you soon in the next lecture, and thank you so much for the day. Until then, happy learning.